Let's flip now towards the front of our mat. We're going to move into some pro work. So, right, we're going to work the upper body now. So think upper back. Try not to creep into your shoulders or your neck. Let your legs feel comfortable wherever they're at. Mine are at kind of like a slight second position, slight external rotation. And this time, let's go ahead and reach our arms forward. We're going to kind of have a progression with this series as well. If at any point that next step is not for you, that's okay. We will take a little bit of a break in the middle to stretch our low back. So I want you to think just the upper body on this one. And I want you to try to reach through the legs. They're still active. Start to look towards the top of your mat and lift your head and your neck. Just a little bit. Careful that you don't just throw yourself up from your low back. Can you scoop the wheel of your pelvis just a little bit and try to lengthen the legs away? All right, now hold on to that. Both arms are going to lift and lower. Both arms are going to lift and lower. Whew. Keep pulling the wheel of your pelvis towards you. Feel like somebody's grabbed the top of your ears and they're pulling your ears up towards the ceiling. Let's do 3 more. 3. Almost there. Last 2. And last 1. And soften everything down. Whew. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on the pillow. Right? Let your upper body go. I'm going to say lift it so that you can hear me just a little bit better. We're going to move into our legs now. Keep pulling the wheel of your pelvis towards you. Don't lose that connection so that your low back is long. Both legs are going to lift and lower. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. You're going to feel your glutes turn on again, just that little bit of a squeeze. I am in an external rotation today, which is a little bit different than sometimes we do in parallel. Last 2. And last 1. And soften and release. Carefully bring the hands beside you. If it's available to you, come to your tabletop position. We're going to stretch our low back before we move into that next progression. Strong, straight arms. Lift through the layers of abdominals. Feet, I'm going to push the top of my feet down into the mat just a little bit. And then I'm going to start to lift the wheel of my pelvis towards my nose. Carefully, you don't just push up into the upper back. That's not actually where I want you to get the stretch. I want you to try to lengthen the pubic bone, your tailbone, away from your ribs. So hold on to that scoop and start to push into your hands to shift your weight back. We've done this one before. It's one of my favorite stretches. Move slow. This isn't about a fast, like getting to child's pose. This is about a slow stretch from your fingertips all the way to the curvature of your tailbone. Let that happen. Ooh, take a nice breath here. If this is okay on your knees, right, maybe you can bring those hips towards your bottom. Take your inhale. And exhale slowly. Push your spine back up to seated. I am on my heels if that's comfortable for you, or you can just wave your spine back up to tabletop. Because we'll all walk out to tabletop. We're going to do that once more. Whew. So sort of trying to loosen up those low ribs just by lifting our abdominals. I really want you to think this is an ab workout, right? So here we go. Lift your waist. Feel like you're going to hollow out the front of your body. Try to pull your ribs in and up by standing into your arms. Notice that you're not just pressing your upper back towards the ceiling. So try to soften that. Don't think that this is a shoulder exercise. Think that this is an abdominal lift. You feel almost like your knees are dropping down towards the floor so that you can lift the quads up towards your navel. Now start to shift your weight back. I am getting a really nice stretch through the left side of my pelvis, which must have been tight. Trying to keep my hips relatively square. Slowly, I'm scooping. I'm scooping. Even as I lower, I'm trying not to lose any kind of scoop, which is really hard because my body wants to unfold, but I don't want it to. Take your inhale here. Exhale, my hips are on my heels, and I'm going to press my spine upright by lifting my abdominals and lengthening through the top of my head. carefully bring yourself all the way down into your mat. We're going to kind of combine now, legs and upper body, right? So if at any point that's not for you, you can just stay single, right? Upper body or legs. I'm going to reach my arms forward. Legs are in that slight Pilates V. Lift through the layers of abdominals and lift the head, neck, and chest. So I'm going to hold my upper body in a baby extension. Now from here, I'm going to lift both arms and legs. I'm going to draw my legs together as I circle my hands back towards my heels. Whew, big stretch through my collarbones. Open it back up and tap. Lift, open, reach, and tap. Lift, spiral, drawing those inner thighs towards each other. Lift. Last 4. Lift, spiral, reaching, back to center, and soften. Lift, spiral, squeezing those thighs towards each other, and soften. Last 2. Lift, spiral, reach, and soften. Last 1. Lift, spiral, reaching, and soften everything back down. Woo! Bring those hands back beside you. One last child's pose. Again, that slow stretch if that feels good for you. Opening up through that low back. Standing into the arms. Lift the layers of abdominals. Start to round from those floating low ribs to the back of your knees. Visualize that C curve. Hold on to it and lift as though someone's kind of pulling you back. And stretch. If I'm quiet for a moment, I'm just feeling the movement, feeling that connection, that openness. Let it all go. Let it release. Maybe the hips come back towards the heels. Take your moment. Exhale. Slowly press your spine back. All the way back. Whew. I'm going to come back to standing the way that we came down. If that's for you, go ahead and flow with me. If you want to just come up to standing and meet us there, that's fine too. So from here, I'm going to flex my feet into the mat. And I'm really going to think about stretching the plantar fascia. I'm going to start to push a little bit of weight into my hands to lift my knees towards my armpits and press my weight back towards my heels. I'm going to think about lifting the layers of abdominals. Then I'm going to push through my heels, lift through the waist, push through the heels. Start to straighten through my legs. Now curl the wheel of your pelvis. Slow and controlled. Lift, lift, lift. Oh, head, neck, and chest. For the very last to come up. Beautiful work, everybody. That's class. Thank you.